Hello, it's the StyleCon coming to you from location at the Tobacco Company in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. I have my nice little cigar, have my little concoction that I made when I was at home before I decided to stop over and do this video. Today, the subject is going to be very serious. And that subject is death and your luxury goods. Now, I have a nice pen collection, I have a nice watch collection, I have a sunglass collection, but that's not worth any money. Sunglasses don't hold their value. But my watches and pens have excellent resale value. And my dilemma at the current time is what to do with these items when I die. I have one son. He's not into wristwatches. When he graduated, I offered to buy him a Rolex. He's like, Dad, I don't wear watches. I'm not into watches. Like most of the younger kids, they don't wear a watch. They have their cell phone. It's like, I need to tell the time. Great. He doesn't understand, though. If you're in the business world, which I've been trying to talk to him about, if you have a nice watch, a decent car, sometimes that can move you up the ladder. You know, sometimes, actually, from what I was told when I was growing up, you dress for where you want to be in life, not where you are, where you want to be. And needless to say, he doesn't understand that concept, at least not yet. I do plan on being alive, you know, maybe another 25 years or so, but needless to say, I've lived more of my life than I have left to live. And with that in mind, what do I do with my luxury goods? I have my Panerai, a wristwatch on. I have my John Hardy jewelry on. I have my Prada sunglasses, which if you want to, I have videos on all three of these that you can check out. And on that, I talked to Noel. He works at the Watch and Clock Museum in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And you know, he offered to take them as donations once I'm no longer here on this earth. And it's like, great. But then when I think about it, I don't just want my watches to be put in a glass case with my name as a donator on it. I mean, it's nice that you're in a museum. I've already donated some watches. My name's already there. But needless to say, the watches I have left, I really don't want to do that. I want to give them to someone that will appreciate them. They'll take care of them, they'll look after them, they know what they have on their wrist. You know, that's the big thing. And when you don't have anybody to give this stuff that can appreciate that, you know, at least for me, I can't speak for anyone else, and you know, those that are watching this video, oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, this guy's got an $8,000 watch on his wrist, oh, I feel so bad for him, and I understand that. I mean, this is nothing to feel sorry for me about, or anyone that's a watch collector. But when do you cut your collection down? You know, you're 50, 60, 70. It's like, let me get rid of some of these watches, because I don't have anyone to give them to. God forbid, I'll give you a quick story. My uncle, at one time, he was in this area, he was the king of the nightclubs, he was the king of the bars, he owned a ton of bars, nightclubs, hotels, you know, and when he died, his kids took and so everything that he worked for. This man was born during the Depression. He never took a vacation, ever. He never took a day off of work. He'd go in butt naked, stone cold sick. He didn't care. He did what he needed to do to make his business flourish. And I can appreciate that. But I want to enjoy my life while I'm here. But the fact that his kids sold everything that this man worked so hard to obtain, that's a shot in the gut, if you ask me. You know, at least keep one business, keep another business. No, they sold everything. And they divided the money amongst them. I don't want that to happen with me. I don't want even though my son, thank God, and I feel lucky I only have one child, because I've seen enough fighting when people die, especially if you have multiple children. You have 2, 3, 4 children, 5 children, whatever the number may be. They will fight over some crap. And I've seen this happen. My one cousin, give you a brief example, he had an ironclad will. His daughter's got his insurance policy. You know, they got his cars, they got his motorcycles, and he was very well off. His wife at the current time, when he died, he left her the house. But in his will, he said if you get remarried, the house goes back to the kids. Kids fought her tooth and nail over this. This woman had she's thicker woman, but she looked good with the weight that she carried. And when I saw her, she lost like 50 or 60 pounds. I was like, hey, what's going on? She's like, hey, look, the kids are stressing me out. They want this house. And it's like, well, damn, they got his insurance policy. These kids got probably about $500,000 each, plus his cars, which they sold, plus his motorcycles, which they sold, and it's like, you're coming after her for a $300,000 house, which in this area is a mansion, but needless to say, they wore her down. She eventually just left and said, keep the house. And for me, in my situation, I don't have to worry about that. But for those of you out there that have multiple children and you don't want them to fight, because you wouldn't want them to fight while you were alive, but now they're fighting over things when you're dead. I don't know if I want to leave those type of possessions. I don't want my sister coming after my son. I don't want my brother coming after my son, or whatever it may be. God forbid I leave this earth before they do. So what do you do? I mean, this isn't a question, but if you want to leave some comments, I'm open to anyone and anything. I mean, if it's a good, legitimate reason, I will listen to it. But what do you do? I'm thinking about cutting my collection down to one watch. If you watch my one video I did, the watch aficionado versus the smartwatch, I planned on cutting it down anyways. But the watches I do have, I'm thinking about selling them, enjoying my life. I would expect to get about maybe $20,000, $30,000, $35,000 for the watches if I sell them. Get them in cash, great. I'll send myself on one great vacation, or I could send myself on some multiple nice vacations. And this is a major dilemma right now because I am getting older. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and nobody talks about, what do you do when you have someone in your life, your children, your wife, who won't appreciate it? And my thing is, I'm trying to think forward. I'm not going to be here forever. And what do I do? At the current time, I'm thinking, get rid of the majority of them. This is my favorite watch of all time that I've ever owned. And I'm thinking about just keeping this particular one, get my smartwatch, which I consider will more than likely be my everyday driver, and just get rid of the rest. There's nothing to fight about. Get rid of the majority of my pens. Just keep the ones. I mean, there's 2 or 3 that I use on a regular basis. The other ones I use here, I use them there, but they're not like once a month pens. They're not once every 2 months pens. They're just occasional. That's what I'm thinking about doing. And those of you out there that are watching this, you might want to give that consideration, when you're thinking about your demise and what's going to happen with your possessions, and maybe eliminate some family squabbles. What do you do with them? Once again, this is StyleCon. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I plan on being here for a while, so if you like what I'm talking about, you like my content, please subscribe, and as usual, I'll see you in the next video.